Well, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Story to Screen podcast, the movie review podcast where we review all different kinds of movies, new and old. I am your host, Chris, and welcome to our top 5 favorite films of 2015 episode. Joining me tonight is Benjamin Curley, Joshua Ling, and Ian Maffett.
Yo, yo, yo.
Did you forget someone?
I was just about to get to that, silly man.
Okay.
And joining us, special guest, is Alicja Johnson from Real Red Reviews. Welcome, Alicia. How are you?
I am great. I'm fantastic, Chris. Thanks for having me back on the show. Great to meet your co-hosts finally.
Yes, yeah. The last time, well, we did it. We did like 2 episodes together. We had another guy on the first time you came on. But
Kyle, right?
Kyle Prohaska. Yeah, he joined us for The Martian. But no, this is the first time that the 4 of us have been in the company of a young woman, who is also a film critic and a.
I like to say this is not my first time being in the company. I resent the way that was phrased.
In terms of the
funny looks over here.
in terms of the podcast mold, the podcast globe. So, yeah, we're
So that's the way you like to meet women.
Just keep digging.
Wait a minute, just keep digging. What do you mean by that?
He's saying you're
means
digging
just
yourself
like
into
women.
a hole. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Whatever.
Dig it up. Oh.
Again, folks, this is our top 5 favorite films of 2015 episode, where we will reveal our list of the films that affected us, that we came to love, and that really truly affected us this year. But before we go into that, I did want to talk real quickly about some quick movie news, so we'll jump into that real quickly into weekly segments. Well, first of all, I did want to acknowledge the horrible event that happened earlier today in New York. The horrible accident with the crane. I mean, what a horrible accident that happened. They're still investigating the situation in terms of what happened and what caused the crane to fall down on a traffic road and hit some cars. Apparently, 1 person has been killed and 3 people have been injured. And it's very sad. But our thoughts go out to the people up there in New York in the situation, and hopefully they'll get this issue resolved. So our hearts and our prayers go out to the victims and their families. Anyway, I did want to talk about 2 bits of movie news that happened. The first one, I think, was last week, actually. It was Disney officially announced that the Rian Johnson's Star Wars Episode 8 has been moved from its May 2017 release to Christmas of 2017, mainly just to bank in the same amount of money that they made around with Star Wars, which at this moment is almost going to make $2 billion, and it's going to break it.
Oh, holy crap.
Yeah, for real.
I knew it was a lot. I didn't realize it was, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like, what is it? It's
Sorry, go ahead.
It's like it's $5 million away from $2 billion, actually. So
it is the single most lucrative intellectual rights on the planet. Let's just face it.
Well, I mean, I guess I am shocked that it made that much. Maybe it's just because of the anticipation level has just been so big lately. But anyway, what do you guys think of this move? I mean, do you find it a good sign? I do.
6 more months to work. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Why not? Why not?
Well,
think
yeah, I mean, it's yes and no. It's good that they're giving themselves more time to work on it. It's bad that they're rushing stuff like that. I mean, come on, don't rush this, please.
yeah.
But
Do you feel like they're rushing this one, or they were kind of beforehand?
no, going forward, it looks like they are trying to rush them out. They were forced to move the timetable here, but I just get the impression that overall they're trying to rush them.
Yeah.
Which is always a bad idea.
Yeah, because they always the quality is kind of affected. Alicia, from your point of view, I mean, I don't know. I know you're not the biggest Star Wars fan. I mean, have you seen like Star Wars: The Force Awakens at least, or not yet?
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, and how do you feel about this move specifically?
I'm gonna have to listen to people complain.
Really, people have been complaining.
I'm very like neutral about it. Okay. I don't know.
Really, people have been complaining. At least in your circles, that people have been complaining about the situation.
Yes, they don't want to wait longer for it.
Oh, I can.
People need to chill out and wait for a good movie.
Seriously.
I know. I mean, look, I'm honestly confident with this move because again, it's giving, from what I'm aware of, from my inside sources, it's saying that that gives Rian Johnson a lot more time to really write and flesh out the script a lot more perfectly.
He's a Johnson. He's gonna do a great job.
Anybody that's named Johnson. I mean, but I guess my excitement is that what is episode 8 going to look like? I mean, of the films that he's done Brick, Brothers Bloom and Looper, and I'm thinking of it's probably going to feel more like Looper, but I'm just excited to see what that look is going to be like, what that's going to feel. Anyway, let's move on from Star Wars, and we just got one more bit of movie news, and that is... Actually, this is some TV news. I think it was on Wednesday that the producers of Supergirl have officially announced that it will be crossing over with the CW's The Flash. So, all in all...
Oh, what?
Yes. So, what this basically confirms is that Supergirl from CBS is officially connected to the Arrow / The Flash / Legends of Tomorrow universe. So I have to admit I have not seen The Flash. I just have not had the time to just sit down and watch TV lately. But it is a show that I'm interested in checking out sometime, as well as Arrow. But are any of you guys here Supergirl fans or Flash fans? Go ahead and speak your...
Ooh, can I talk?
Sure,
Can
go ahead.
I talk?
Sure, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm very strongly opinionated about this.
Oh, okay.
No, The Flash, it's good, but it gets a little bit campy sometimes. Like, oh, I've learned that nothing is impossible. That gets said about 30 times in every single episode. Yeah, right?
Yes.
And Supergirl, I haven't even watched it, but I just cannot deal with this girl's attitude in the commercials I've seen. Like, she just seems so like, hey, guess what? I can fly. Woo! And it just, yeah, I don't know. Like, she just strikes me as that one annoying person who's way too enthusiastic about everything. Like,
That's
I love
me.
enthusiasm, but...
That's me.
Yeah, you're not too far off. I'm caught up on it so far, and it's toned down a bit from the first episode, but it's still kind of in that theme.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. And then also, like, I don't like the idea of the universes intersecting, because that just confuses me. But yes, I'm sure other people have valid opinions as well.
Ian, have you been watching the Flash or Arrow or any of that stuff, or just haven't had the time?
I watched the first couple seasons of Arrow.
You have failed this city.
Yeah. It gets a little too intense for me at times. Like, I'm the guy that, like, I like to come home from a long day and just sit down and veg out to Scrubs for a little while. Something light and airy, And then, but, like, when it gets to something that's, like, just super intense, like, it's just, okay, calm down. I actually kind of like The Flash for that reason. It does get pretty campy, but it's also it's also very meta about that. Like it understands what it is and what it's doing and why, and so I like that. So it's a very self-aware show.
So,
in fact, they point that out when Arrow appears in the show. So it's I enjoy The Flash. You know, it's not my favorite show ever, and I haven't seen Supergirl yet. I'm not really super interested. See what I did there? So yeah. So yeah. Anyways,
Your turn, Ben.
But I mean, do you think this move could be interesting, Ian? I mean, I know you haven't seen the show Supergirl, but I mean, do you think this could be an interesting idea, or do you think? Yeah,
I mean, I like the concepts. I think it's cool to have the crossovers because otherwise, the whole like DC and Marvel universe, if you just focus on one particular character, it's like after a while, it's like, all right, so surely they interact with others. So I don't know. I just kind of like that, just broader, bigger world because eventually you're going to run out of storylines.
Well, here's something that's funny that I actually I don't know if any of you saw the that 30-minute special that aired during the premiere of Legends of Tomorrow. It was the DC Extended Universe special with Kevin Smith. They were talking about all the upcoming DC movies, and I actually heard something. A question that was asked by Smith was about, are these universes going to potentially collide with each other? Are they going to cross over? The Batman v Superman universe will cross over with the Arrow universe. And they said, I cannot answer that question. I just cannot answer that question. So that makes me kind of think, maybe. First of all,
they're leaving it open.
Yeah. At the very least, they're talking about it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But speaking of which, Batman v Superman coming out in about a month from now. It's coming out next month.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Which we got to get on with our Dark Knight trilogy commentaries in pretty soon. But anyway, let's go ahead and kick off our list of our favorite films, our top 5 favorite films of 2015. So guys, what did you think of 2015 as a movie year? Did you think it was a great movie year, or kind of a pathetic one? Alicia, we're going to start with you. Since you're the guest, we're going to start with you. What did you think of 2015?
Thanks. I would give this year in movies a standing ovation. I thought it was a great year. Always something good to see. Most of the time. Not Pixels.
I'll agree with none of you guys better have Pixels on your lists. I'm just saying.
Oh man, no, I'm joking.
I knew that was coming, Ian. From someone, if not from you.
Well, it was either that or Paddington. I don't know.
or maybe
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, for reals.
Or maybe 50 Shades of Grey, maybe?
You know how I am.
Oh, God.
So, guys, what did you guys think of 2015 as a movie year?
Which one?
Yeah. Ian, we'll start with you.
All right, we'll go with that. Overall, it was good. There were some really solid films that came out. 2016 should be very interesting, so we'll see how it compares. But I don't know, 2015 as opposed to 2014, I think there was some definite improvements. Some like, this is the mistakes we made. Let's try this now. So yeah, good overall.
Ben.
Yeah, totally agree with Ian. Much better films this year. Actually, more films than I was able to watch. I've got a giant list of Like Ant-Man, I still haven't even seen that yet. Yeah, I know. I've got quite a list of films that came out this year that I still need to see, still really want to see. So yeah, it's a good year.
Joshua.
I thought it was a good year. I'm not positive as to how great it was compared to others. There's only one year really that stands out to me as, oh man, there were so many movies, and that was a while ago. That was The Incredibles. There was just a lot that year. I don't think it quite compares to that, but it was a really good year. I did see a lot of movies this year. I'm usually the one who probably sees the least out of all of us, and it was I enjoyed this year, that's for sure. The quality was definitely up.
Okay. So to summarize, I'm just going to borrow each of your opinions and just say, yes, 2015 was a good movie year. That's it. So that's going to
Cheers.
I like it.
There you go.
Totally good.
There you go. It was a pretty good year. So Alicia, we're going to start with you and tell us, what is your number 5?
Okay, well, I may get some flack for this, but my number 5 is actually Trainwreck.
So, off the record, do you want to maybe go grab some dinner?
Actually, Aaron, I think you're so great, and, but I'm a writer. I'm your writer. You're my subject, and, from now on, we need to just keep it professional.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we really like each other and we should start dating.
No, I'm saying, I'm confused. Am I not communicating this right? Like,
No, I hear you. I'm just saying I disagree. Do you like me?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I really like you. So we should be a couple.
No.
Does it-
I have plans.
What are your plans?
Dentist.
Is that true?
No.
Really?
Yeah, well, okay, so I'm a girl, which means that sometimes I do like romantic comedies. I don't like
What?
those
No.
sappy, I don't like things like The Notebook, but, I do like things that make my heart beat a little bit. And yeah, Trainwreck, it made me, die in laughter, and it also made me cry a little bit. It basically had everything. So it was sort of like a guilty pleasure, like one of those movies you kind of want to watch more, not necessarily to get more meaning from it, but just literally just for a few laughs. But yeah, so that's what that was for me.
Your number 5. In comparison to other romantic comedies, how does it differ? Because I haven't seen the film yet, but it got a lot of great reviews. But a lot of people are kind of saying it's a very different type of romantic comedy. How does it differ from the normal ones?
Well, for me, I didn't really see it as a romantic comedy. It just felt more like it was a comedy. Because romantic comedies, when they say that, they mean, okay, so it's going to be all about this relationship, and everybody's going to know what happens. And you might
Wacky
chuckle
side
once
characters.
or twice.
Sorry, wacky side characters. That's the other thing.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, there's never really any comedy, and that's what bothers me about most of them. But this one, it was so much comedy, and also,
Alicia, we lost you.
any girl who's in college will find it somewhat relatable. So yeah, that's why it's a very personal opinion type of movie, if that makes any sense.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay, so that's your number 5. Ben, what is your number 5?
All right, so we have a bit of a tie here.
Okay.
I couldn't really narrow it down, but at least they're in the same category. Both include dinosaurs.
Oh.
It is a tie between Jurassic World and The Good Dinosaur.
That's me. There's Libby. And Buck. And Mama. And... and Papa. Family. Huh? You don't understand. That's okay.
Whoa.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of people hated Good Dinosaur, and I still don't understand why.
I don't get it. I
wasn't
loved
Inside
it.
Out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was exactly. I think that's the only thing.
Yeah, I don't get it. Although I will admit that it really just kind of, I don't think they pushed it advertising wise. It really snuck up on me. It's like, oh, wait, that's out? I didn't think that was coming out until another year or so.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was really good. And it was, I don't know, it was really fresh take, a fresh spin on kind of an old tale. So I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but it was good. I liked it.
And Jurassic World. How did Jurassic World make your number 5? I'm furious.
Just went and made a new dinosaur?
Yeah, it's kind of what we do here. The exhibit opens to the public in 3 weeks. Mr. Mizrani wanted me to consult with you.
You want to consult here or in my bungalow?
It's not funny.
A little funny.
We'd like you to evaluate the paddock for vulnerabilities.
Why me?
I guess Mr. Mizrani thinks since you're able to control the raptors.
See, it's all about control with you. I don't control the raptors. It's a relationship. It's based on mutual respect.
Wait, furious or curious?
I'm furious.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yes.
All right, I feel the rage now. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Let's just say I can't think of a better summer blockbuster in history.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Okay.
Avengers.
Actually,
Yeah.
no.
Not the new one. I'm just saying
Oh.
Avengers, as in
Yeah,
that's
it
the
was-
other great summer
Yeah, maybe, but dinosaurs. Come on, dinosaurs.
block.
And
Superheroes.
Chris Pratt.
Yes.
Yeah, Raptor Squad.
Robert Downey Jr., Tom Hiddleston. Come on, people. Anyway, go ahead.
Chris Pratt.
I love me some Chris Pratt. Don't get me wrong.
I do have to ask you one thing, Ben.
Yeah.
I mean, are you confident with Colin Trevorrow, the director of Jurassic World, doing Star Wars Episode 9?
I am now.
Okay.
I did some listening to him talk about various things. I actually saw a really fascinating interview at the I believe it was Sundance, where he and Christopher Nolan and a couple others were talking about the use of film as a medium. It was really, really good hour-long sit down with them. But no, I feel like his just understanding and respect for the art of film just gives me a new respect for him. So I think I can trust him with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's so heartwarming.
Okay. My number 5. I'm next because I'm named. I have I have a C. My first name.
Ian's giving you a look like okay.
C.
I dig it. Sure, whatever.
Okay. My number 5 is the Peanuts movie.
Someone's moving in across the street from me?
Hey, gang! Look, there's a new kid moving in. Big brother, put yourself together. Come on, Charlie Brown. Get out of the way. Ow!
Hey guys, what did you see? Who is it?
Oh, I think I see a piano. I hope he loves Beethoven. Beethoven. Maybe he will appreciate my natural beauty.
I just hope he'll have an open mind about the Great Pumpkin.
I think they have a toaster.
Last year, the Lego movie was one of those movies that just took me back to my childhood. This movie redid that all over again. I mean, it was another one of those just lighthearted, good fun, and just such a beautiful movie about, being a good person and just trying, making good impressions on the people around you. And that's what, Charlie Brown's kind of arc throughout that movie was. And that movie still I still remember so much from that movie and just the beautiful, relationships between, Charlie Brown and his friends and, the banters and all that classic, Charles Schultz kind of, banter between, the way that he wrote the banters between these kids and their kind of intellectual kind of conversation that they have. And just a beautiful animated movie that I'm still like, how did they do that? And, I just want to say that I am shocked that it didn't get a nomination for Best Animated Film at this year's Oscars. It got a Golden Globe, but not an Oscar nomination. So, but yeah, that's my number 5, the Peanuts movie. Ian, what is your number 5?
This might be controversial, but my number 5 is Star Wars.
We cannot run them! We might! In that quad jumper! Hey, we need a pilot! We've got one! You!
Dun dun dun!
All right, let's the controversy begin.
Oh no, I feel you. I feel you.
You were also one of the major apologists for the movie too when we reviewed it. Like you were very all over it. Yeah.
I mean, that should tell you something, like the fact that it's number 5 and like not number 3.
Is that how you're gonna?
Is that why you took so long to get on here? Were you like deliberating over that?
No. Well, yes, but no, like for real, I was having trouble with my computer starting up. But I enjoyed, despite what the critics have said, I enjoyed the film. It was a good throwback to the original Star Wars. It was a good way to bridge between the original Star Wars and what's coming next. So I enjoyed it. I think it is, despite what people may say, I feel like it was a good film and a good start to the new age of Star Wars, if you will.
Did it give you a new hope?
Nice.
I'm sorry, I like puns.
I got a bad feeling about that one.
Nice. Stay on target. Stay on target.
There you go.
Stay from behind.
Can I say something about the new Star Wars?
Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to. So before seeing The Force Awakens, and actually after seeing The Force Awakens, the only Star Wars film I had ever seen was A New Hope. But the new film, it got me really enthusiastic about everything, and now it's made me want to go back and watch the original trilogy. So that's something going for it.
And make you go back and watch Phantom Menace. I mean, that's going to be a real treat for you.
I will say this, Alicia. As much as the prequels are bashed, you can find an edit. There's one out there called the Phantom Edit, and it kind of just bunches all the important stuff in the prequels down into like 2.5, 3 hours. And it is actually worth watching. There are some fan edits that way that are enjoyable enough. So,
all right, I'll keep an eye out for that.
But I would recommend watching.
I like to do that in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi because it's a good flashback kind of thing.
I see.
Okay. Okay, Joshua, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is Ant-Man.
All right, I'm on the roof of the target building.
Somebody's home, Scott.
What's going on down there, Sam?
It's the Falcon.
I had a sensor trip, but I'm not seeing anything. Wait a second.
Abort, Scott. Abort now.
It's okay. You can't see me. I can see you. He can see me. Hi. I'm Scott.
Did he just say, hi, I'm Scott?
What are you doing here? First off, I'm a big fan. Appreciate it. So who the hell are you? I'm Ant-Man. Ant-Man? What, you haven't heard of me? No, you wouldn't have heard of me.
Ant-Man, and yes, Alicia, it did make my list. Anyway, so Ant-Man, the biggest thing that struck me about Ant-Man was, a lot of people are talking about the Marvel movies and saying, oh, but it's the same. And then other people are going, no, this one was a heist movie. No, this one was that movie. And saying how it's different on very surface level. The biggest thing I thought that was different in this movie is, and it's kind of funny, we got 2 Marvel movies this year in which a father figure was a major hero. I think they went and looked at what they'd done previously and went, hey, none of these guys are married or have kids. Let's throw that in there so we know they're not anti-white male kind of situation here. But I really, really enjoyed the father-daughter story in Ant-Man. I thought that was really, truly the heart of all of that. We have all these wacky, crazy things going on. But in the end, the thing that I was most invested in was that he did what was right for his daughter. Scott did what was right for his daughter, and I really loved the heart in Ant-Man. As you know, it has issues. It feels more like a Spider-Man, you know, earlier Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi kind of thing. Honestly, it doesn't feel like we, you know, traveled at much new ground as far as any effects or anything like that. But really, that heart really got me. I really, really enjoyed that story, and that's why Ant-Man's my number 5.
Okay, so that's your number 5. Okay, Alicia, what is your number 4?
Number 4. Okay, so number 4 for me is another comedy. It is actually The Night Before.
So good seeing you guys.
Merry Christmas. What are you guys doing here?
It's the only karaoke place that's open on Christmas.
Yeah, it's our tradition.
No, I should have remembered that you guys come here. But Run DMC, I got to see it.
You
finally.
liked it?
It was awesome.
This is what you guys missed. She did Miley Cyrus. She destroyed Wrecking Ball. It was amazing.
You still like that song?
Everybody does.
You can cry to it. You can run to it.
Yeah.
You can party to it.
Timeless.
What are you guys doing?
We're having a really fun night, actually. We're kind of going, not too hard, but pretty hard. We're kind of just, it's our last night doing the Christmas.
End of an era.
Last year.
True.
Last year.
I really like Jonathan Levine as a director. I'm a big Seth Rogen fan. And also a big Joseph Gordon-Levitt fan. I've got the poster of him from Inception on my wall. And yeah, just this movie, for me, it was like the funniest thing I've seen since This Is the End, which, like, I just consider one of the funniest movies out there. Also, but they were able to keep the emotional story in it pretty well, I thought, without trying to take themselves too seriously. So they made all the references to the Christmas movies, and as a Jewish person, I have not seen a lot of Christmas movies. I have felt very like they don't really mean that much to me. Like, some people, Christmas time, they're like, oh, I have to watch all the Christmas movies. I haven't felt that, but this Christmas movie felt perfect for me. And my friends, for Christmas, they even got me the Seth Rogen sweater with the Star of David on it. And yeah, it was just a movie that I would watch again and again.
There you go. The Night Before is your number 4. Okay, Benjamin, what is your number 4?
Number 4 is Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation.
Package is still on that plane. Shut down the fuel pump. The mechanicals are locked out. What about the electrical system? Oh, that might work. No. Hydraulics. Okay, stand by. No, they're encrypted. Benji, the plane. Yes, the package is on the plane. We get it. Can you open the door? I'm by the plane. Benji, can you open the door? Maybe. Open the door when I tell you.
Mm-hmm. Really? It was a good film. Yeah. No, it was a excellent follow up to MI4. Just carrying the story, and I liked it. It was a good action film, and it had a fairly decent story to it. There were some plot holes and stuff, but overall it was pretty good.
Which is actually, believe it or not, that's my number 4 as well.
Oh, sweet.
So, I know you didn't join us for our review of that one, Ben, but that was an amazing treat to go see that film, and a lot of that was a lot of surprises, and it also just reminded me of, it kind of had that 1960s kind of Steve McQueen film, that type of film vibe going for it. It was a great action film. Tom Cruise still continues to demonstrate that he is, at the top of his game, even though even though he's getting older, he's still showing that he has it in him. What I'm more surprised by that movie is that how it was an improvised movie, because they didn't have the script when they began, and they were making things up as they went along. So they were constantly writing that script even throughout the whole shoot. I mean, I think they had the set pieces in place, but they were making up the story to connect those set pieces, which that's an amazing accomplishment right there.
Well, I mean,
professional
if you think
kids
about
playing with toys.
Yeah. Well, if you think about the way that the story typically unfolds for a Mission Impossible film, it's easy for them to get away with that because they're like, okay, we set this up. Now, where do we go? What do we do with it now? Where do we go from here? What's the next piece in the puzzle? And so it's easy for them to do that, to film an out of sequence or whatever, and then to throw in something just totally bizarre and, yeah.
I want to do a huge shout out to Rebecca Ferguson. I mean, what a find. I mean, Daisy Ridley in Star Wars was great, and I think she was a great tip off for the year. But Rebecca Ferguson, what another find. I mean, this year has been an excellent year of just of female breakout stars. I mean, you mentioned Trainwreck earlier today, Alicia, and what's the name of the actress in that one again? Amy Schumer, is that her name?
Yeah, I'm actually not a big fan of her, but
and yet it makes
she's got one of those personalities that's kind of dividing. Yeah, some people love her, other people are like, "What? Are you kidding me?" So
I'm not a fan either. Yeah,
but anyway, yeah.
I think she's funny sometimes, and then sometimes it really just misses the mark for me.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, Rebecca Ferguson. I mean, I hope and I think she is going to be in a lot, some other really big films as well. But yeah, she was an amazing find, and again, Chris McQuarrie, he's another one of those persons that he's always great with scripts, but he's had a very limited filmography in terms of directing, and he just blew me away with his directing in this one. So so that's my number 4. Ian, what is your number 4?
Take a big guess.
Star Wars again?
I know. I'm not even kidding. It was Mission Impossible.
Nice.
There you go.
Great minds, y'all. Great minds.
The pressure's on, Josh.
Don't worry. Don't worry. That's all I'll say. Don't worry.
Well, I mean, yeah, go ahead, Ian. What did you think of just Mission Impossible? I know you joined us for that one, but just kind of.
Yeah, I mean, ditto to what you guys said. It was a great story, really enjoyable action. Tom Cruise, top of his game. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, Joshua, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is Creed.
This is taken from the 10th round of the first fight, right?
Good call. How'd you know that?
I heard about a third fight between you and Apollo. Behind closed doors. That true?
How'd you hear about that?
Who won?
It's kind of a secret. What'd you say your name was?
Don.
Okay. Well, the girl said you wanted to talk about something?
Yeah, I want to talk to you about training me.
Training? I don't do that stuff no more. Sorry about that. Listen, it's getting kind of late, kid, so I'm going to close up.
All right.
Saw that toward the end of this year. Fantastic film. I really love the way Sylvester Stallone continues to show his writing ability. That's something he never gets enough credit for. He has such a grasp on all the characters in his universe. He can easily create someone and slip them in. He was doing this in his mind, at least, maybe not on the screen as much, but he was doing the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe thing with his boxing universe before Marvel ever started doing it. I honestly would buy any novel he ever wrote if he decided to write a fictional novel. I mean, that just sounds fantastic. Everyone talks about his acting ability. I just love everything he did with Creed from a writing level, making us care about this character, but differentiating him from his father, from Rocky, making him his own person. And I think it's such a great metaphor for all these new but old franchises that people are trying to jump into and do things new, Star Wars especially, but all these intellectual properties that have become the American mythology. It's absolutely wonderful to see someone like Sylvester Stallone from the older guard who understands how important it is to pass the torch. So that was what I really got on a meta level from Creed. On the actual movie level, I really just enjoyed Michael B. Jordan's acting. I really enjoyed his girlfriend, who I swore up and down was Bianca Lawson for the longest time, and I'm like, no, it's not Bianca Lawson. She looks a lot like her though. Like I said, I just fell in love with all the characters that I didn't know, and of course already loved Rocky and the other ones that we see, and I can't say enough good stuff about Creed. I'm surprised it's not higher on my lists, but that's where it falls. It's that kind of year. So.
Okay. That's a good pick right there. Excellent film. Excellent film.
I still haven't seen it.
Ooh, okay.
Same here, actually.
I know.
You guys need to get on that.
Yes, if you love.
I'm disappointed in myself here.
It's okay. Look, I've not seen Hateful Eight yet. Whoa, maybe that's a bit of a spoiler right there. What's your?
Sorry, I really like the Hateful Eight.
Okay, Alicia, what is your number 3?
And my number 3 is the Hateful Eight.
I see you ain't got mixed emotions about bringing a woman to a rope.
By woman, you mean her? No, I do not have mixed emotions.
So you taking in the Red Rocker, huh?
You bet.
You gonna wait around to watch it?
Oh, you know I am. I want to hear her neck snap with my own 2 ears. You never wait to watch them hang?
My bound is never hang, because I never bring him in alive.
Never.
Never, ever.
But yeah, so The Hateful Eight was just so fantastic. Quentin Tarantino took 3 hours of film in 2 different settings, and he made it just so engaging. It was just, oh my gosh, it was so enthralling to watch. And also, it was my first time seeing a Tarantino film in theaters. So yeah, that was definitely, that definitely like needs a spot in my top 5.
There you go. Would you say how would it compare to like Django Unchained? Is it very different from that film? I've not seen it.
It's very different. It's more like what's it called? Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like a whodunit type of thing, sort of. But it's not the same. It's not the same. I liked it better than Reservoir Dogs, actually. A lot of people would beat me with a stick for saying that, but you know what? I'm saying it.
Okay. All right, Ben, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Aha.
Yeah. I was talking about this film when we first. It's like, wow, this should have been number 1. Star Wars really should have been number 1 on my list, but it wasn't. I loved it, but I wanted to love it more. So, but it's
tried so hard for you, Ben.
I know, right?
He sounds like he's in pain.
He is. Don't worry.
Pretty much, yeah. It's kind of a love-hate right now, but yeah. So Star Wars number 3.
Okay, there you go.
I'll ask you though, Ben, real quick. Does it make you look forward to the future films?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, yes. I look forward to more films. I do not look forward to more films of the same. Does that make sense?
I don't think that will happen, but yeah.
JJ's not doing the next one, so I'm more confident with that. So Rian Johnson is at least a much more original creator than a person who relies on the past than anything else. So I'm more confident with him. Okay, so that's your number 3. My number 3 is...
I mean, it's not so much the person, it's their ability to capture what Star Wars is.
Okay.
But anyway, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's getting so deep.
Okay, my number 3 is Maggie.
You spent 2 weeks out there looking for me?
Yeah. I made a promise to your mother that I will protect you.
Yeah, but what about you guys? What if I hurt you?
Don't worry. Caroline and I, we know the precautions.
You shouldn't have brought me back.
Now, for many of you who probably don't remember, Maggie was a little small scale, kind of a little horror drama film that has.
It was the Schwarzenegger zombie flick, wasn't it?
Yes, it stars Abigail Breslin from Signs and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's a fantastic little cinematic gem. I mean, have any of you guys seen it? No. Exactly. Yeah, it got a lot of mixed reviews.
I
haven't seen it, but I did a feature article about it.
Okay, just anybody, please check this movie out. It is worth checking out. It is a wonderful little drama. It is not, and it abandons so many of the zombie tropes. If you're expecting The Walking Dead, it's none of that. This is, a father who's struggling with the ultimate decision as to whether or not to end his daughter's life before she becomes this thing. And it's just a wonderful drama. It's just a really wonderful drama. I mean, if you're expecting like Schwarzenegger, kicking zombies' butts, no, it's none of that. It's a very wonderful character piece. And very sad at times too. It's a very sad little drama. And for a first-time director, it is amazing. And the cinematography, color palette, it is an amazing little cinematic gem. I recommend anybody, please check this out. Please, everyone, check this movie out. It is a fantastic little film.
It's definitely on my list.
Yes, check it out. Check it out. All right, Ian, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is apparently IMDb can't make up its mind whether it's 2014 or 2015. But Selma.
The president doesn't want us to march today. The courts don't want us to march. But we must march. We must stand up. We must make a massive demonstration of our moral certainty. I'm so glad we're here together today. I thank you for standing up, for we shall be victorious in our quest. We shall cross the finish line hand in hand. For we shall overcome. All right.
Oh, you finally saw it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's technically a 2014 film, but it didn't get a wide release until 2015. But, that can be an exception.
With it, yeah. IMDb is saying January 9th, so I'm going to count it. But I thought I didn't see it until recently, just simply because I wasn't sure if it was just going to be, just another propaganda piece. But I was very pleasantly surprised when I did see it. The acting, the directing, the cinematography was fantastic. So I thoroughly enjoyed the film.
What did you think of I don't remember the David Orwola's, I can't remember his name, but the actor who played Martin Luther King. I mean, I thought he was
that had to have been a really intimidating part to get.
Yeah.
I mean, there's big parts, and then there's Martin Luther King Jr. Okay. But like one of the things I loved about the film is it did not paint everything in this rosy hue. They did a very good job of showing things as they were. MLK Jr. He messed up with his marriage, but he accomplished some fantastic things, and but it just I loved it because it instead of focused on Selma, Alabama, it did a great job of bringing in kind of giving the context of what was going on at the time. Just fantastic film.
Okay. Don't worry, don't feel bad, Ian, because someone added A Most Violent Year, which was a 2014 film, onto their 2015 list, so don't feel bad. So I'll make that exception right there. So, but yeah, it's a good pick. That's a good pick right there. Okay. All right, Joshua, your number 3.
My number 3, y'all keep going, this is probably a controversial pick. Okay, this is actually a controversial pick because I fully acknowledge that this movie has some serious flaws.
Oh my god, it's totally Pixels.
It's not. Don't worry, it's not. This movie was one where people either went, "Huh," or went, "Ugh." Almost universally. All the guys on this podcast even said so for the most part. And that is Tomorrowland.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if all the geniuses, the artists, the scientists, the smartest, most creative people in the world decided to actually change it? But where? Where could they even do such a thing? They'd need a place free from politics and bureaucracy, distractions, greed. A secret place where they could build whatever they were crazy enough to imagine.
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland is in fact number 3 on my list, and it's not just because I like the movie, even though I did. I do enjoy the movie. I am one of the weird people who ended up liking it, but I'm not apologizing for it in any way. The biggest thing about this movie for me was its worldview. Now, most of us on here are of a particularly Southern Protestant Christian worldview. Alicia, you're Jewish, and so...
Oh, my dad is a Southern gentleman.
Okay, well, he understands our plight then, so, anyway. But anyway, the biggest thing that blew my mind with the worldview of this movie, it definitely comes from a more atheistic, evolutionary kind of point, even though they don't specifically overtly say that. It comes from a humanistic, let's make the world better kind of viewpoint. And I think that a lot of religious people, just in general, have a really hard time getting over their own quibbles with each other and stuff in order to actually have any kind of vision for moving things forward in the future. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm saying we do that under the banner of humanity like it says in Tomorrowland, but I think that whatever brand you're under, especially in my case, banner of Christ, if Christ is real, if God is real, if he's created us and he wants us to do great things, we need to go out and do those great things and build those awesome technological wonders and use the awesome imaginations and brains that he's given us and not just sit in some, comfortable conservative state. And I think that was the biggest thing that movie was preaching. And it was also, it was very preachy, I'll give you that. But it was also preaching how obsessed our culture is with death and destruction and no hope. Can we please have some hope? And that movie was all about hope, all about trying to push forward and be optimistic. And I loved, all the various things, referring to Walt Disney and to Tesla and Edison and all these other great thinkers of our time who could think their way out of just about any situation. And I think it was very inspiring for that reason. While I don't agree with some of the Randian viewpoints in it and other sorts of things, I think that their worldview is going in the right direction. They just don't start from the right place. And I view the film as just a really, really interesting intellectual piece that honestly made me think about things in a much more interesting light. And for that, it earns my number 3 spot.
Joshua, you saw a completely different film than the one I saw.
Well, no, I want to jump in and agree with him. I wrote it down. It didn't make my list, but I did write it down as one of the films that made an impact on me. It was extremely preachy, and I kind of likened it to a much shorter, more toned down version of Interstellar, actually.
Yeah.
No, I did quite enjoy it. It was too preachy for my taste, especially considering the budget that they had and what they could have potentially explored. Yeah. I've never seen that much money put on a message film before.
Prometheus. Prometheus.
But no, I did like it. In its own way, I liked it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia, did you see Tomorrowland, Alicia, or?
I did not. I assumed that it was like some kind of futuristic space travel film or something.
Okay. Okay.
Well, it is a sci-fi flick, but it's basically it's the idea, without giving away spoilers, the idea that there was a vision for the future that was covered up because various political reasons, and people are generally, society doesn't want a better future.
There's a great big beautiful tomorrow, basically.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Is global warming involved in it?
No, it's really not.
Oh my.
Although they do mention it as a negative thing that doesn't exist, so.
Okay.
So there you go.
There you go.
Careful, Al Gore might come out and yell at us.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Man Bear Pig is real.
Ladies and gentlemen, Al Gore joining us next week to talk about his old documentary, The Inconvenient Truth.
Nice to meet you all here on the thing that I invented, the internet.
Oh, that was great. That was great.
There you go. There you go. Okay, Alicia, now we're going to start with our number 2. So, Alicia, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is The Martian.
Right. Let's do the math. Our service mission here was supposed to last 31 souls. For redundancy, they sent 68 souls worth of food. That's for 6 people. So for just me, that's going to last 300 souls, which I figure I can stretch to 400 if I ration. So I got to figure out a way to grow 3 years worth of food here on a planet where nothing grows. Luckily, I'm a botanist. Mars will come to fear my botany powers.
Woohoo! If you listen to the episode where Chris and Kyle and I talk about it, it was just really a beautiful film. It was funny, it was dramatic, but at no point were they like all hope is lost. Like, I can't stand movies that just have that kind of outlook. Like, I appreciate them, but in general, like, I want to walk out of the theater with a sense of hopefulness or something, not like everything's doomed. So yeah, it was funny, and Matt Damon, one of the best performances I've ever seen him in, for sure. And also, I liked the supporting roles as well, and just overall, I like the fact that the story is very unique. Like, it's not a reboot. Like, there have been so many reboots this year, and, you know, even though it was adapted from a book, you know, it's still, like, pretty original, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Good movie. You should see it if you didn't.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and jump in because that's also my number 2.
All right.
No, that was a great film. No, I missed its regular release, and I saw it in a dollar theater later. Wow. It was good. It was good. The only issue I had with it was a little bit of a sidetrack there near the end where it's like, okay, they're kind of trying to distract us. Are they going to kill this, extra character or not? What are they doing? They're kind of scaring us like they're going to kill him, and then they don't. It's like, okay, a little misleading there. Otherwise, no, it was a really solid film. Loved it.
Okay, so that is your number 2. Okay, my number 2 is The Revenant.
Oh my gosh, that was so... Sorry.
Okay. I mean, this was the director who did last year's Birdman, which is a fantastic movie. The Revenant it's like this old Western, but it's set in the wilderness and all that stuff, and it's just a haunting, beautiful piece of filmmaking, and it's just this man, this journey that we're taking with this man on his quest for revenge, for the death of his family, and DiCaprio just gives this, a wonderful performance, but he says so much without saying a whole lot. He conveys so much through his eyes and his mentality and just
his dreamy eyes, right, Chris?
He's not actually that dreamy in this one. He's actually kind of a rugged.
Oh, I know. I was just joking. Because sometimes
That beard, though.
I get lost in his eyes, so it's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, The Revenant, fantastic. Some amazing cinematography. Yes, the dog is agreeing with me about. But
the dog has been deeply moved.
yes, he saw The Revenant too. But
I mean, she's really involved in this.
Oh, she. Okay, there you go. So sorry.
Yeah.
Watch this parody of The Revenant where Ian gets attacked by a dog.
Goes out to revenge.
Cool fact on that film: it was.
Can I
shot
be DiCaprio's
completely-
beard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
Fun
Vince?
tip on that film, though, it was shot with completely natural lighting.
Yes.
Like they didn't
Oh my
have any
gosh.
lighting kits out there. Yeah.
Yes.
So they basically planned and timed everything to shoot within the 1 hour window every day that they had.
Yeah. The one thing that I was kind of shocked by, because in Birdman, you know, the director went for these like really long, extensive takes, which I thought for a while he was going to go for that in this film, but no, the environment was not going to allow for those really long, endured takes. You know, it was kind of, it felt more documentary, if not Terrence Malick-y at times, but yeah, fantastic movie. It also kind of, at times it reminded me kind of like a little bit like a horror film, like The Blair Witch, but much more expanded upon, you know, just this open vastness to it that I thought was so amazing. But it also just shows the early America, how dangerous it was too, you know, just that world and what it was like to survive, or what the means of survival, which was amazing. So I hope DiCaprio gets the Oscar. I hope it wins Best Picture this year too. So yeah, that's my number 2.
Can I add something about The Revenant?
Sure, go ahead.
I like, honestly, it would have been in my top 5 had like, I didn't consider it a 2015 release, so that's why it's not. But I love the way that Iñárritu he just contrasts human kindness with human cruelty so well.
Yes.
Like, one of those films that just like, it made me think and oh gosh, yeah. If you guys want, like, I talked about it forever in my review of it. Like, yeah, I great movie, great pick, Chris, great pick.
It is a 2015 release, just to let you know. It was just released on Christmas, so, but so yeah. But anyway,
it's limited, but
yeah.
oh well. Next
Limited
time.
releases can still count.
Kind of.
So anyway, Ian, what is your number 2?
My number 2, I chose Mad Max Fury Road.
How do you know this place even exists?
I was born there.
So why'd you leave?
I didn't. I was taken as a child. Stolen.
You done this before?
Many times. Now that I drive a war rig, this is the best shot I'll ever have.
And them?
They're looking for hope.
What about you?
Redemption.
Oh,
I was waiting for that one to show up.
Yes.
It was, you know me, I like straightforward plots, and especially when the film understands and is self-aware about what it is as a film. And Mad Max was very much that way. It was a simple plot that was made epic, just like with the cinematography and the special effects. And, you know, there wasn't that much in the way of dialogue, but it was just like, it was a great throwback to the original Mad Max films. And just a film you could just sit down and just enjoy. And I like that in a film occasionally. So it was fantastic. It really, like, you know, if a film really draws me in and I'm on the edge of my seat, like just thoroughly engrossed in the film, I find it a very good film. So, and that was Mad Max for me.
Yeah, just a big compliment, by the way. That I've seen some of the bonus features for how they did like all the chase sequences and all that stuff, like the big action set pieces. That is amazing stuff that they did right there, by the way.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
Like that, like that guitar player.
Yeah, the effects they did for it were just amazing, especially the fact that a lot of the big stuff was practical effects.
Yeah, and even like the guitar player with the flamethrower and all that stuff, that was all real.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man. Yeah, that didn't make my list, but that's Mad Max Fury Road. Good pick, Ian. Joshua, what is your number 2?
My number 2, which has been sprinkled throughout, is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. It, to me, the biggest and most amazing things about it, everyone's seen it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, the most Han dies. No, that's not. Anyway, the most amazing things. Yeah. There you go. The most amazing thing to me was seeing these new characters in the Star Wars universe. First of all, that was amazing to me. I really loved them building to Luke Skywalker. I think that Luke does not get enough credit for who he is and what he's done in the Star Wars universe. So many people are going into this, oh, I'm so excited to see Harrison Ford again as Han Solo and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I love Han Solo. Don't get me wrong. I've always loved Han Solo, but to me, Luke has always been the guy. I've always loved Luke Skywalker. I love his story. I love everything that he goes through. It's just the hero's journey. And Mark Hamill does such a good job taking a very archetypical role and turning it into something very specific and amazing. And it was just amazing to see him standing there in Ireland in the final shots as that old wizard, basically, and seeing Rey hand him the lightsaber of the franchise. That is Anakin's, that is Luke's, and now she's handing it to him. That
like
whole
Excalibur
moment,
right there.
Exactly. That's what I said in our review. It's like Excalibur or something, like that. There's just something about the presentation of a sword or lightsaber or whatever, the honor in that, the knighthood, and I really love just the medieval flair that was throughout the entire film. It felt like we finally got back to space fantasy after so many years of just this weird kind of fantasy, kind of sci-fi weird nonsense of the prequels, which I'm not a prequel hater, but it felt like its weird own thing, and now we're feeling back to what Star Wars always was, a space fantasy.
Okay, so that is your number 2. All right, guys, so we've arrived to our number 1s, but before we go...
Honorable mentions.
Yes, I'm about to mention that. So let's real quickly, the movies that didn't make our lists, are there any movies you want to give a shout-outs to that didn't make your list, but that you still saw and really enjoyed?
I really only had one down on my list right now. I will say that I did enjoy The Good Dinosaur. That just came to mind again. It wasn't on my list. I do think that it was a little samey compared to some Don Bluth films. I felt like this was the year of Bluth, Inside Out and that are both very Bluthy. And then the other was Avengers Age of Ultron. I like it a lot better than a lot of people did. A lot of people said, all the various problems with it. I think if Joss had his way, it would have been a much better film. I think it would have included a lot more of Thor's side arc, which I'm a huge fan of Thor. And so I really enjoyed Avengers Age of Ultron. It just didn't quite make the list because of the quality of films this year.
Okay. Ian, what about you?
I'd have to go with Jurassic World. Enjoyed it, but it was loose in some areas. Bridge of Spies was actually quite good. I enjoyed that. It was a little slow, so that's why it didn't make my top 5. But Tom Hanks, as usual, did a fantastic job. And then Avengers.
Okay. Benjamin, what about you?
Yeah, Avengers definitely. I liked it a good bit. It didn't stand out enough for me to include on the list, but it's up there. I'd also like to throw in Home, an animated film from DreamWorks. I don't know if anyone saw that. Was surprisingly good and charming. And then also Beyond the Mask. It counts because it had a theater release. So we're going to throw that in as a good, pretty quality made independent Christian film. I need to just throw it out there. It was pretty good.
Yeah, Beyond the Mask. That should be on mine too, for sure. Beyond the Mask was very enjoyable.
Which we had the privilege of hosting a screening for that film, which was that was a highlight from last year. Alicia, are you ready to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing new. Jurassic World, Avengers. I agree. I really liked it, and I also I liked Ultron's monologue a lot. Like that was a really good cinematic moment for me. And also Star Wars gets an honorable. I can say words. Mention from me. And did I say Jurassic World?
Yes, you did.
Okay, great. All right, yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I got a bit of a long list of honorable mentions. So, Ex Machina, Cinderella, Beyond the Mask, Mad Max Fury Road, Mr. Holmes, Ant-Man, Robert Zemeckis' The Walk, Crimson Peak.
Oh my gosh, that was good.
Creed, and Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Cinderella was good too. That was that
was surprisingly really good, actually. So
it really was. It really was.
Was it really?
Yes. We're guys, and we went to go see it.
Well, I'm a fairy tale fiend, so anything fairy tales, I am all over.
You should see him in his pixie dust outfit. So.
Well, I write, Alicia, and I'm all about.
Joshua.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really need for you to get a T-shirt that says "Fairy Tale Fiend" on it.
Oh,
please,
please do
that for
on
me.
It. Also, Alicia, just so you're aware,
excellent.
I wrote a 20-poem epic fairy tale version, or excuse me, my own version of Cinderella this year. After seeing that film, did it in my own style. I write a lot of various fairy tales and things. There's something about mythology and fairy tales and medieval whatever, as you heard from Star Wars, that is totally there. So if you want to check out my stuff, you can hear about it later.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our number 1.
Okay, starting with number 5, my favorite films were Trainwreck, The Night Before, The Hateful Eight, and The Martian.
And your number 1?
And then for number 1, do I get like a drum roll or something, or am I just... Thank you, that's very lovely. Ex Machina!
You're wrong.
Wrong about what?
Nathan.
In what way?
He isn't your friend.
Excuse me? I'm sorry. Abe, I don't understand.
You shouldn't trust him. You shouldn't trust anything he says.
Power restored.
And if we made a list of books or works of art which we both know, it would form the ideal basis of a discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, thank you for the applause.
There you go.
So this movie was amazing, and it was just so well written, and Alicia Vikander, who I love, not just because her name's Alicia, but she had a great year. Like, she was in The Danish Girl, she was in, what was that movie? Man from U.N.C.L.E., and in this one she plays an AI, and she makes a very, very convincing AI. Like, I was blown away by her performance. And also Oscar Isaac, he was fantastic as well. Domhnall Gleeson, he was okay. He had to play like a normal character, so his wasn't as impressive. I loved the cinematography. It was one of those sci-fi movies that's more about the thought rather than like action. And that's something that I really liked. Like, for weeks after this movie, I was still thinking about the principles in it and such. Like, the whole female thing. Like there's the theme of like women and how they can manipulate sometimes.
Yeah, but that's the question.
And it's just a very thought-provoking movie. And yeah, I really want it to win for Best Original Screenplay for Oscars. for
Let
the
me ask
Oscars.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this: do you feel like the character is maliciously being manipulative at the end, or is it that the movie it's trying to convey an innocence, but that she's not that? How can I say that she's not maybe aware of? You know what I mean? It's like it's a very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've wondered about that so much. Like, I would just love to sit down with, what's his name? Alex something.
Yeah.
The person who wrote it. Yeah, I would just love to sit down with him. Like, I want to pick his brain. Yeah, but, yeah, I love movies like that, even though they drive me crazy. Oh, and also, this movie, I saw it on my first date with my boyfriend, who I've been with ever since, so that also gets a special place in my heart.
There
so,
you
yeah.
go. There you go. So that is Ex Machina as number 1. Okay, so Benjamin, what is your number 1? Oh, actually, go through your list again, and then tell us what your number 1 is.
Okay, tying at number 5, Jurassic World and the Good Dinosaur. Number 4, Rogue Nation. Number 3, Star Wars. Number 2, The Martian. And number 1, Inside Out.
Is Riley here?
Red alert! Board.
There's a boy in my house.
I knew she was going skating, but I thought it was with her friends.
Why is there a boy in my house?
This isn't a date, is it? I'll ask Riley.
I don't like this.
This can't be a date. She's only 12.
Let's probe, but layer it with cool words the kids say, so it's not obvious. So, what's the dealio with Jordan? OMG, he is awesome sauce. Faux cheesy.
Did she just say faux cheesy?
I don't understand. What's happening?
Ugh, this is just embarrassing. I can't. I can't.
Yeah.
No, I had to because this was just such an emotional movie for me. It's like, it didn't really have anything I connected to as far as, story. It's like, I never ran away from home or anything like that, but just the basic emotions that we all just connect to and that just drive us. And we innately know each of those feelings. And I laughed, I cried. Yeah. It's a good movie. Yes.
There you go. Okay, so that's your number 1. Okay, so my previous ones were number 5, The Peanuts Movie. Number 4, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Number 3, Maggie. And number 2, The Revenant. My number 1 is The Martian. There
you go.
What a fantastic comeback for Ridley Scott, who I felt like was just directing a lot of these just stale films between
Stale, that's a good way to put it. I like that.
I just did not like Exodus, whatever's A Good Year, all those other movies I had done between The Martian and Black Hawk Down, which Black Hawk Down is like a masterpiece in my opinion, but The Martian is just this, it's surprisingly funny for like this Robinson Crusoe type of a plot. It is so funny. And Matt Damon, who I am just so excited to see him come back for Bourne 5. That is like just so exciting for me. But his performance in here was just so great. And to see just one of those, like, it's a very isolated performance. And it's almost kind of similar to The Revenant, where both of its lead actors are trying to give these performances in kind of solitude in a weird way. More so with Damon, but yeah, fantastic movie all around. And I hope Matt Damon. I think Matt Damon definitely was deserving of the Oscar nomination. And if it wasn't for DiCaprio, I hope he would win. But I think DiCaprio will have the win.
He better.
Yeah, it's about time. But yeah, that's my number 1.
Not that he cares or anything, because
But that's my number 1 right there. So The Martian. Okay.
Space Pirate.
There you go. Ian, what are your shot?
Okay. So number 5 for me was Force Awakens. Number 4, Rogue Nation. Number 3, Selma. Number 2, Mad Max. And number 1, this is going to come as a complete surprise to everybody. Inside Out. Shocker, I know, right? No, like Benjamin said, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. That the whole just emotional experience was so engrossing. Like Benjamin said, like we can all identify with it, and just like those individual emotions, and just the way the story was carried out. It's like I laughed, I cried, it moved me, Bob.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
It makes you quote VeggieTales.
There you go.
And I mean that. Yeah.
I quote my childhood.
There you go. There you go.
I like the fact that the guys are the ones who are citing the emotion film like as their number one.
Joshua,
so deep.
There you go.
In touch with our emotions.
All right.
Oh gosh, yeah. Where have you guys been all my life?
There you go. We are sensitive men.
There you go.
All right,
gentlemen.
All right, Joshua, your shot.
Oh, sorry, gentlemen. Yeah.
There you go. With conditions.
Sure.
There you go.
All right. Number 5 for me was Ant-Man. Number 4, Creed. Number 3, Tomorrowland. Number 2, Star Wars. And finally, number 1, say it with me now, Inside Out.
There you go.
Oh, jeez.
I'm detecting a theme here.
Yes, indeed. Although I will add a little bit extra to what has already been said about Inside Out. First of all, it's really funny Alicia brought that up about her boyfriend that she's been with ever since. The second time I went to see Inside Out was with my girlfriend Casey. And one of the things I was most looking forward to in that viewing was actually not so much Inside Out, even though that was a thing, but also the short at the beginning, Lava. The story itself parallels. Yeah, it was fantastic. Not a fan, huh?
No, I thought it was okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Continue with your story.
I don't mind hearing what you have to say, but
no, I don't want to rain on your parade.
Well, the actual story of Lava itself does actually parallel some stuff in our relationship, which is pretty interesting, on top of all the great, amazing, emotional stuff in the movie. But the biggest thing that I think is interesting to me, and I think there's a theme in all of these films of mine, is anytime that there's a connection between the technical aspect of something, technical in Ant-Man, you got all the superhero stuff, you got technical in Creed, the sport, right? Technical sport. You've got technical stuff in Tomorrowland with the sci-fi, technical stuff in Star Wars with all the lightsabers and the sci-fi elements. And then Inside Out, you've got the technical aspect of the machines that run Riley's brain, which just fascinates. And that we've spoken all the emotional stuff, but what about all the amazing ways in which they made her mind work? The islands, the memory balls, all the other sorts of things. That technical side of things are there, but then the heart is what really is at the center of the story. When those two things are combined, you can't go wrong for me. And I think Inside Out was spectacular in that way. And the one thing that really cemented it for me in my great films of all time for me is I'm a big Don Bluth fan. Don Bluth, who did An American Tail and The Land Before Time and those other sorts of films during that 80s drought of good Disney movies. He was the one making them, even though it wasn't for Disney. And the moment that Bing Bong sacrifices himself to save Joy and to save Riley ultimately, man, like that is so Don Bluthian. When I saw that, I just said, there it is. Just fantastic. So that's why Inside Out's my number 1.
Okay. Fantastic list, guys. Fantastic movies on those lists. So thank you very much, guys, for writing down those lists and seeing all those movies. So great job. Great collection of movies right there. We're gonna let's turn our thoughts to 2016 now as a movie year. So is there anything? Ooh, did someone fall?
Yes. No.
Who's there? Who fell? Did someone fall?
Oh, nothing. I just got excited and banged my hands on my desk.
Oh, okay.
Good
All right.
job.
I'm sorry. I'll try to contain my excitement.
Okay, Alicia, is there anything in 2016 that you're excited for?
Only everything. Okay, no, tomorrow I am seeing Hail Caesar, and I'm so excited for that.
Yes.
Love the
Goodness, I
cast.
really want to see that.
Yes.
I am a huge Coen Brothers fan. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, I want to see
It's
that.
got. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Somebody said something?
Go ahead.
Oh, well, yeah, so not only is it a Coen Brothers film, but it's also got eye candy for both the girls and the boys, you know, Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson, who actually I consider her eye candy for me. She's just so, oh gosh, what a woman. No, one time somebody, while I was at work, I had like a weird zip up shirt that kind of looked like the shirt that she wears when she's Black Widow, and somebody told me like, "Oh, you could totally cosplay as Black Widow." And I'm just like, really? Like, I was so like complimented. I've never been so complimented before.
Over a zipper. Yeah.
But yeah, also Deadpool obviously next week, and also Zoolander 2. I like quote Zoolander 1 like all the time. You know, every time I'm sick, I just start going like, I have the black lung, pa. You know, stuff like that. You know, water is the essence, or no, wetness is the essence of water. Water is the essence of wetness. Whatever it is. You know, so I am extremely excited for that. And also there's the obvious things like Civil War, Batman versus I was about to say Batman versus Suicide Squad.
That would be a great
no,
movie right there.
Batman versus Superman and Suicide Squad. And I am kind of like low-key looking forward to How to Be Single because I'm a girl. And yeah, so I like that kind of thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't know. Somebody else go.
Ben, what about you?
Yeah, quite a few of those I'm looking forward to. I'd like to also throw in The Jungle Book. Looks very intriguing.
Oh!
I'm very curious to see what they do with that. Yeah.
Apparently there's like 2 Jungle Book movies that are, I don't know if they're coming out this same year, because there's one that's being directed by Andy Serkis, and but yeah, you're referring to the Jon Favreau version that's coming out later.
Yeah, I believe so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That looks interesting, actually. Anything else?
Let's see. Oh, yeah, I don't know, just some fun films like Zootopia. Look, you know, lighthearted and very, very entertaining.
Okay.
I can't think of at the moment of what else is coming out this year.
I was going to mention
hang on, Rogue One, is that not coming out later this year?
that's coming out Christmas.
Yeah.
December
Looking forward to
16th.
that.
That's one to look for.
You know, we didn't talk about Rogue One in our Star Wars review. Is anyone shocked that they didn't have a preview for that one at Star Wars Force
No.
Awakens?
No,
they
they don't want to.
They had it on the cutting room floor.
I'm shocked
They don't want to
They've
take
got
away
a
from
very
hype.
they got a very scheduled hype machine set up, and now is not the time to start hyping that. You need a cool down period
Okay.
before you start hyping Star Wars again.
Exactly. Yeah. So this summer they'll push it big, but
Yeah. I am kind of curious to see how well that one actually does. If it's going to do, I don't think it's going to do Force Awakens numbers. I don't think it's going to do that. I generously 800 million. I think is the generous.
You know, pocket change.
Yeah, but
Find that on my couch.
who's excited for Steven Spielberg's BFG?
Anyone?
I don't think I've seen
Crickets.
anything for that.
It looks like it's going back to his early roots as E.T., Close Encounters of the Third Kind type of roots.
Huh.
So looks like it's going to involve like some aliens or something like that. It's actually a Disney film.
The name says it stands for Big Friendly Giant, and apparently it's based on a 1982 children's book of the same name by Roald Dahl. I'm a big fan of Roald Dahl, so I might be interested.
Yes.
Who knows? I like
Cool.
Roald Dahl.
Okay. Let me think. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Who's excited for that?
Well, Pride
Oh yeah, those bustiers, right?
All I can say is, guys, that trailer was enough for me.
it looks so stupid that it actually could be awesome. That's
No,
how...
it could be, but that I felt the same way about Pixels. Not that it was, I was going to go see it because I didn't. But I feel like the trailer is the joke. That's all I need. That's exactly the same way I feel about Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I love the trailer.
Yeah.
I don't need to see the movie.
Because you're afraid that it's going to be bad.
It started with the Black Plague.
I'm seeing
so
that.
good.
I'm going to go see that movie as soon as I can. I might even go see it tomorrow, honestly, because I just have got to go see that film as soon as possible.
Like before you see Hail Caesar.
Well, I might do a double. I might do a double feature, maybe.
Spend the day at the theater.
There you go. Yeah, Hail Caesar is another one. As much, even though I have been mixed about it, I am kind of excited for Batman v Superman. Although I am kind of like, what is this really going to turn out to be? That type of mindset. Because from what I'm just hearing, it just sounds like they're just really
50 Shades of Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one I'm a little bit. I don't know what we're gonna get with that movie. That's the.
I can't get over Eisenberg. I just can't. I can't deal.
I'm getting past that.
Right?
They want the Joker so bad, but they can't have the Joker.
They got the Jokers in Jared Leto's Suicide Squad. But I actually am not going to lie. I'm actually kind of liking Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. Not going to lie. He reminds me so much of Richard Dreyfuss for some weird reason. What's another one that's coming out this year? Rogue One is another.
We've got, here, I'll just go through a list of some of the ones I pulled up. We've got Angry Birds, the movie.
Oh my gosh. Don't even mention that.
X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh, yes!
I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
That looks interesting.
Poe Dameron is actually playing the villain. He's playing Apocalypse in that one.
Alice Through the Looking Glass. Yeah, we'll see.
Is that one
Warcraft.
Okay, no.
Finding Dory.
Yes.
Oh, how could I forget that?
Mm-hmm. Independence Day. Resurgence.
I have such a love-hate relationship with Independence Day.
Oh yeah,
I love it because it's so bad.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh yeah,
it's so bad.
I mean, just the fact that Will Smith isn't going to be in it, it's like, okay.
I don't think it's going to be bad enough without Will Smith in it. That's what I'm afraid of.
Maybe he'll make a cameo or something.
Maybe there'll be an alien that just looks like Will Smith.
There we go.
Well, you got. Yeah. Well, I mean, you got Chris Hemsworth's little brother in that one, so maybe that will help replace Will Smith's absence. I mean, how can you go wrong?
I mean, he's black enough.
I mean, how can you go wrong with Liam Hemsworth? I mean, he's good.
The Fresh Prince of Australia.
Yeah. What else is there on the list?
All right, Star Trek Beyond.
Okay, that's a weird film for me because this year actually marks, what is it, the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. That film does not look like it's going to commemorate anything of.
It's not anything like Star Trek, no.
Is anyone here excited for Star Trek Beyond? Anybody?
I am. But I'm cautiously optimistic because last one wasn't great.
Hey, you got Idris Elba as the villain, so that could be kind of.
I do like Idris Elba.
Yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Now can I ask you guys something?
I've got.
Oh, go ahead.
Real quick.
Go ahead, Joshua. What were you going to ask?
We'll get to all this stuff when you come around to me, but I just wanted to say, is it bad and weird that when I wanted to look up the films that I'm interested in for 2016, I didn't look up the whole list. I looked up the Disney films for 2016.
It's okay.
That is fantastic.
Have a malady.
So, anyway.
Okay.
Never change.
Never change. What else is there, Ben?
All right, I've got three more that just kind of stand out. We have Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Trolls.
That I'm very curious about.
Yes, Doctor Strange will be fun.
Trolls. We'll see. And then finally, Assassin's Creed.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was already called Beyond the Mask.
Yeah, I know, right?
Assassin's Creed is going to be a much better film than Beyond the Mask, but go ahead.
Oh, come on. That was a good movie.
Nah.
You keep saying it wasn't. It was a good movie.
Okay. Assassin's Creed. I'll admit I've never played Assassin's Creed before, but I do know what it is, but I don't know. I mean, you got
Can we just say best video game soundtrack ever?
Okay.
Yeah, it's got a great soundtrack.
Yeah. I don't know. I've played through most of them. I've quite enjoyed the story of it, so I'm really intrigued to see where they take this film.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, you've got the same talent that made the recent Macbeth film with Michael Fassbender and the director as well. So that I think could be interesting. So because Macbeth was a really great looking film. Who's here? Anyone interested in Assassin's Creed?
I am.
Well, besides you.
I'll see it. But I probably won't make a point to see it in the theaters.
Okay.
Yeah. Redbox.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to think. Is there anything else on the list, or was that it?
Those are the highlights.
Yeah, I'm curious about Gods of Egypt.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. What are you talking about?
What?
It looks weird.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Did you like Phantom of the Opera?
It could be one of those things that like it's weird enough that it's cool, or it's weird enough that it's just like thoroughly unenjoyable.
Dude, I saw the trailer for that thing. I'm like, oh
it could go either way.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of looking like, oh wow, what's the name of that? The Greek gods movie with the boy set in modern world.
Peter Jackson? Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson. It kind of looks like it's going to be Percy Jackson.
Oh, I loved those when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's what it looks like it's going to be to me.
Hey, Chris.
I think it'll be more on an epic scale.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, what's up, Joshua?
I got to get moving in just a second because I got some other stuff going on. You want me to give mine real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and bow out. You guys can finish up the rest if that's cool.
Okay.
If you need any more from me, I'll be happy to record it later. But mine, just running down real quick, are Captain America Civil War. Really excited to see Spider-Man in the cinematic universe. I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man. Finding Dory. Really excited about seeing Finding Dory. Love Pixar, all that kind of stuff. The BFG, now that you've told me about it, Roald Dahl, I'm always loving Roald Dahl and Disney. That sounds interesting. And Spielberg, yeah, count me in. I'm interested to see what they do with Pete's Dragon. I've always thought that there is a good that story was good for a remake, a redo, because we have so much more CG technology and stuff now. As long as they make it look, half as happy and fun as Pete's Dragon in the movie. Doctor Strange, Moana. No one has mentioned Moana yet. Moana being the next Disney princess movie. The Polynesian island and The Rock is in it as well, so we'll see how that goes. And then Rogue One, a Star Wars story, as they put it here as the title. Those are my big films. Looking forward to coming up, and like I said, I just look up the Disney theatrical releases. I didn't even look at anything else because I'm just that kind of person.
Josh, I know your opinion on Civil War. I know you're really excited about that one, but who else here is kind of excited for Civil War?
Definitely
Very
me.
excited.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm in this camp where, I mean, I'll definitely go see it. I'll definitely go see it. But I am kind of getting, and I know we talked about this several times already, but I am feeling a little bit fatigued with Marvel because I feel like they've become a little formulaic now, and I'm a little bit concerned that this new one. I'm really hoping that the ending for Civil War has a big twist. I'm really hoping for some big, massive twists that are going to really change things going forward. That's what I'm really hoping for. And if it's not, I'm going to be disappointed. I mean, I just feel like, if I have a feeling that it's going to either go two ways. The ending of this film is going to either have the guys, the heroes split up in terms of differences and then they're going to have to reunite for the final conflict in Avengers 3, or they're going to resolve their differences and then they're going to get back together and then that's going to send them off into... I don't know. I just need to see something different from these films that shows that they're going to break out of that formulaic mold that they're in. Because that's what made, Avengers Age of Ultron kind of a slightly disappointing film for me.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
You need to do something soon, or else I don't know. But anyway, that's kind of my thing right there with Civil War. Anyway, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, guys. This is a pretty jam-packed episode that we've got here. So Alicia, thank you very much for joining us, the guys, today for this episode of our top 5 favorite films. So we'll be happy to have you back on as soon as possible.
It's always such a pleasure.
Yes, definitely. We'll definitely be happy to have you back on. Why don't you go ahead and just plug in your info, like where can people find more of your work?
Okay, so I'm at realredreviews.net, which is it's spelled REEL rather than REAL. So you can find my stuff there. That is my entire blog. And then I also write for screenrelish.com occasionally. And Twitter is at realredreviews.
Okay. Benjamin.
You can find a lot of my stuff at indyvfx.com. That's INDY and the letters VFX. I just have kind of a blog there that I do, and then just kind of ramble about films, visual effects in general, and then post a lot of my personal work there.
Okay. Ian.
My website's currently down, but I've got stuff on YouTube under Ian Maffett. And then I've got a blog that I haven't updated in a couple weeks called Ian Speaks. And I post a ton of stuff on Facebook. So look for me there.
And also support his band, Evidence of Grace. Support Ian's band right there. So
support your local artists.
Yeah, support your local. That should be a tagline on a T-shirt. Support your local artists. There you go.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Quite a few.
Joshua.
Yeah, my stuff, all my writings and things can be found on rhymeandspace.com. There I write all kinds of adventure and basically just a lot of genre fiction stories in rhyme, and they are not goofy whatever rhyme. That is actually just my style, and all of my stuff is now up there to read. You can download the text files and play them in a text-to-speech reader. There's some instructions on that, but you can check all those out at rhymeandspace.com.
Okay. And you can email me at s2spodcast@gmail.com. And you can email me your requests for film reviews. And, also just give us some heads up on some info about how to improve our show. Also, please leave us a review on iTunes. We can definitely use some more up there.
Only 5 stars. We don't accept any less.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't accept any bad or negative reviews. We need positive.
We'll come find you.
Yes.
Apple will find you. They work for us.
Yes. And you can also find us on Facebook and on Twitter. You can follow us on there as well. And actually, thinking about it now, guys, this is actually our 75th episode. So that's a little bit of a milestone right there.
Yeah.
Silver.
Congratulations.
So it's now onto the road to 100. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in and listening to us. Anyway, we'll catch you next week, and have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers.
Oh!
Thank you.